perfection. Well, not exactly, but close enough. Oh! Alright. Yeah. Oh, that's all I do. Jeez, Ty. Never mind. Chill. I mean, what did you do? Redo that. I screwed that up. Sorry.
Good afternoon, Salem High School. Welcome to the Salem Show from our Washington County Community Foundation studios here at Salem High School. I'm your host, Macy.
And I'm your other host, Natalie.
Welcome to our SWAG 7th episode.
We know that you've missed us over the break.
So we came back just for you guys.
Now that we only have a couple weeks left at school, senioritis has definitely set in for me.
Me too. Now let's get on with the announcements.
The deadline to register for the May 7th SAT is Thursday, April 7th. If you need help or a fee waiver, see Miss Martin. This test will be given at SHS. Go to satsuite.collegeboard.org to register.
Southern Indiana Bake Company will be doing a fundraiser for Connor Anderson from now until April 10th. They will be donating 20% of the sales to Connor and his family.
Remember, vending machines are off limits during school hours. If you need a snack, please go to the vending machines before the start of school or after school is let out for the day.
And just your yearly reminder about your Chromebook. Make sure when your Chromebook gets down to 5%, charge it.
Shut down your Chromebook to charge it. This will eliminate most issues in the charging Chromebooks.
Winter is almost gone, hopefully, but it still gets really cold at night. Make sure you're not leaving the Chromebooks out in the cold because this may harm the screens or interfere with connections.
Also, hopefully it'll start getting warmer, so don't leave those temperamental Chromebooks in your car when it gets hot either. Plastic does melt.
Now let's head over to Hannah for weather. Are we going to be finally done with all this rain and cold weather? I would really like some sun.
Thanks, Nat and Macy. Sadly, for the next week, we have a lot of rain. Let's take a look at the forecast. Friday, we have a high of 44 and a low of 33 with a 45% chance of rain. Saturday, we also have a 45% chance of rain with a high of 43 and a low of 29. And Sunday, which is Palm Sunday, we have a high of 57 and a low of 46 with partially cloudy skies. This next week, on Monday, we have a high of 68 and a low of 53 with partially cloudy skies, and it's also National Pet Day, and this is my dog, Oakley. Tuesday, we have a high of 69 and a low of 55 with a 60% chance of thunderstorms. Wednesday, a high of 72 and a low of 49 with 50% chance of thunderstorms, and it's also National Scrabble Day. Thursday, we have a high of 65 and a low of 40 with a 40% chance of rain. And Friday, we have a high of 56 and a low of 35 with partially cloudy skies, and it's Good Friday. That's it for me. Now let's go back to your anchors.
We thought for community news we would do something fun.
We asked you to send us some of your spring break pictures, and we thought we would share them with everyone now.
These pictures were great.
we did have our favorite.
Now we are missing the beach. Let's gracefully go on to this week's Monday Matters.
There are many definitions of the word grace. You might know someone who is graceful and elegant. You might say grace at mealtime or before you go to bed.
But let's explore grace as a feeling of thoughtful understanding and an act of acceptance or forgiveness for ourselves and others. Grace is the knowledge that being right and being kind are two different concepts.
This week and hereafter, we want you to give grace and a life full of gratefulness and compassion. When we focus on how we can be more compassionate, grace starts to brighten up our space. With grace, we can be kinder and more generous.
With grace, we can be more accepting of mistakes and failures. With grace, we start to feel our emotions without being afraid of them.
When we live a full life of grace, we recognize situations as they are and commit to our world making more supportive and healthier place.
This is why giving grace matters.
That's all we have for Monday Matters. Now let's hop over to Shields for an extra long sports minute and some wrestling news.
Thanks, Macy and Natalie. We'll start opener on Monday at New Wash and won that game 13-0 and in 5 innings. Josh Burton had no walks and 14 strikeouts. Great game, Josh. They were also scheduled to play West Washington, but that got canceled. Their next game will be the home opener versus Silver Creek on Monday. We will be dedicating the field to Mr. Derek Smith. Softball also had a handful of games. They had their home opener on Wednesday versus Lanesville. We will have more on that game and the Scottsburg game that took place on Thursday later. Lady Lion Tennis had their first match of the season versus Brownstown last night. More on the match later. Their next match will be Tuesday at Paoli. Good luck, ladies. Our very own Natalie Knoll had the honor of playing in the HBCA All-Star Game. She got to guard the post, so she was playing like a tall. Congratulations on a great career, and we can't wait to watch you at the next level. The NCAA men's and women's tournament is officially over. Starting with the men's tournament, Duke and North Carolina met in the Final Four, and North Carolina ended Coach K's illustrious career. The Tar Heels won the game 81-77. Coach K won an even 50-50 record. Villanova and Kansas squared off Monday night for the championship, and Kansas won 72-69. The Jayhawks battled all the way back from the largest deficit in NCAA championship history. Down 15 to start the second half to the Tar Heels, the Jayhawks used a 31-10 run to take the lead late in the game. Kansas last won a title in 2008 when they beat Memphis in overtime. Now for the women's side. South Carolina and Louisville played Game 1 of the Final Four with South Carolina winning 72-59. In the second game, UConn and Stanford played, and UConn came out on top 63-58. The South Carolina Gamecocks are the 2022 women's basketball national champions. They beat UConn 64-49. Up until this game, UConn head coach Gino Auriemma was a perfect 11-0 in national championship games. What a great college basketball season this has been on both the men's and the women's side. So now let's talk about the biggest weekend in sports history. The two-night stupendous WrestleMania 38 was everything you could hope for. There was great wrestling, brawls, fantastic openings, celebrities, and stunners for everybody. The weekend actually started off with the Hall of Fame inductions of Queen Shamel, the Steiner brothers, Vader, the Warrior Award going to Shad Gaspard, and finally the main event happened. After 30-plus years of wrestling the phenomenon, the dead man, The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, was inducted. Mr. Calloway spoke for over an hour and had a great and inspiring message, and what a speech it was. His three main points were 1, perception is reality, 2, respect and loyalty go a long way, and 3, never be content. If you haven't seen it, then you need to pop over to Peacock and watch it. As far as the matches, they were awesome. Here's a quick rundown of what I think were the most entertaining and important matches from Dallas, Texas. In the Women's Tag Team Championship, Naomi and Sasha Banks defeated defending champions Carmella and Queen Zelina, the team of Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, and the team of Natalya and Shayna Baszler. Saturday saw the women take center stage with the EST, Bianca Belair, defending the Raw Women's Champion, Big Time Bex, Becky Lynch. The SmackDown Women's Champion, the Queen, Charlotte Flair, defeated Rowdy Ronda Rousey. The final event was the most important match of the night and wasn't even supposed to be a match. Kevin Owens had invited the Texas Rattlesnakes Stone Cold Steve Austin to the KO show, but it was only a ploy to get Stone Cold to wrestle. This wasn't any wrestling match, though. It was good old no-hands bar slobber knocker. Cold Stone and KO battled throughout the stadium, with Austin stunning KO not once, but twice. The crowd went nuts, and there was a lot of Austin 316 happening. Then, on Sunday, Johnny Knoxville and his crew defeated Sami Zayn in an anything goes match. This match was just plain silly and fun. There were mousetraps, bowling balls, tables, fire extinguishers, a giant's hand, and much more used throughout the match. Pat McAfee defeated Austin Theory, who had the chairman, Mr. Vince Mahone, in his corner in another entertaining match. McAfee took a lot of huge bumps and had a lot of athletic spots, including jumping up onto the top rope and hitting a suplex on Theory from the top tumble. Just incredible. However, as most young guys do, they think they can take on the boss, Mr. Mahone. Mr. McAfee challenged the chairman, and of course, as expected, with some help from Theory, Mahone defeated the former Indianapolis Colts punter. But when it looked like Mahone and Theory were going to dish out more punishment to the disrespectful McAfee, Stone Cold Steve Austin music hits, the crowd erupts, and the Texas Rattlesnake comes down the ramp to open several beatdowns and stunners. And all of those that remember the classic feels of Mr. Mahone and Austin, we certainly love seeing the chairman receive one last stunner from the Rattlesnake. Even McAfee got the fangs of Stone Cold. DTA. If you know, you know, and you're a true wrestling fan. In winner-take-all championship unification match, Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, defended WWE Heavyweight Champion, The Beast, incarnate Brock Lesnar. It was a brutal short match that saw Roman Reigns get his shoulder popped out due to Lesnar putting Kurma lock, but the good thing, the Tribal Chief had his trusty special counsel, Paul Heyman, there to assist him on getting out of the hold. Wow, that was a lot, but if you missed any of the action, Peacock has it up for you to watch. And if you did see it, well, go watch it again. You won't be sorry. That's all for me. Let's go over to Draven for some skate news.
I managed to start getting kick flips consistently recently with the somewhat warm weather, and that got me thinking. We all leave a legacy behind. You know, what will we leave after we're gone as skaters? We all have a skate legacy. What have we done for our local skate scene and maybe the whole industry? Kurt Lindgren invented the kickflip, which changed the whole industry, took vert and freestyle out of the mainstream, and kicked off the large world of flat ground skating, which is the most popular form of skating to this day. But there are also people we will never hear about building and restoring skate parks having a huge impact themselves. There are also people like Nigel Houston, Paul Rodriguez, Shane O'Neill, and many, many more people who push what tricks we have to its limits. And then innovators like Kurt Lindgren are still out there innovating new tricks. We have Andy Anderson, Johnny Geiger, and the godfather of skating, the first person to land a kickflip, Rodney Mullen. So we all have a legacy we leave behind, and I want you to think, what's yours? What are your dreams? What do you want to do with your skating? Do you want to go pro, whether it's photography, skating, or music, or anything you do in your life? Do you want to have an impact on your local community, change the whole scene, or maybe change the world like Tony Hawk did with his games, pushing skating to the mainstream where it's never got a spotlight before? Just some food for thought, or little Debbie's for thought as I send you back to our anchors.
Now let's wrap up our show.
Wait, there's more.
There is?
Of course there is, and you were there. Roll the tape or whatever you say now with the digital media.
Today we're going to be wrapping up the ones that we didn't eat last week.
There's 5 of them this time.
And as a reminder, we're going to be rating them from 4 different categories. Their flavor, their appearance, how moist they are, and the nostalgia factor.
Are you holding up like the boxes again?
Because we don't have them all.
No.
And then I'm going to be like, all right, let's get right into it.
All right, there we go. We're good.
We're going to start off with birthday cake!
Oh my gosh, we're going to literally tear up the microphones.
Yes, that was nice. Well, can I point to any of them? Do we have any on the, like...
Here, why don't you hold up the ones that we do have?
You...
Yeah.
Right, just do that kind of thing.
Sorry.
I'll hold up the White Forks box.
What I'm going to do is let you know it's already recording, so we're good there. So when
Oh, let me see.
But once you
Okay,
The
so
only
we
ones
have
we don't have is birthday
Not
cake
back
and
up here one.
the
Swiss
cake.
roll,
If I'm
apple
not,
cake, and
did you guys bring your phones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, duh. If I'm not up here, text me when you're done, because I have to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do downstairs. I'm gonna have him run it. It's already being recorded, so.
Okay.
So once it's done recording, we have to use it, record here, done. And I'll come back up and then we'll save it. before it
Itchy
needs to go.
scalp.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna try not to come up here while you're recording, but, so I don't make a noise.
All right, cool.
All right, have fun.
Thanks.
I'll get out of the way.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Who's ready?
Yep.
Oh gosh.
3, 2, 1.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the part 2 of our snack cake review.
Today we're just finishing up the cakes that we didn't get to try last week.
We have 5 of them this time.
And as just a reminder, we're going to rate them on 4 different categories. The first being flavor, the second being appearance, the third being moisture, and the fourth one being nostalgia factor.
All right, we're just gonna get right into it.
All right, we're going to start off with birthday cake.
They already have a nice look to them. They're
Yeah,
very
they're very
colorful, very playful looking cakes. Pretty good.
You know, I thoroughly enjoyed this. My only issue is it's very sweet, but it's expected. It's a birthday snack cake. But overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. And I'm going to have to rate that a 7.
Yeah, I really actually did enjoy this cake. It was a lot more moist than I thought it would be. Very flavor packed, very sweet, like Macy said. So, you know, I'm a big vanilla girl, so I'm going to give this a 8.5.
And I'll agree with the other two. I will say this was much better than the unicorn cake we tried.
Agreed.
So, yeah. So I'll give this, we'll say an 8 out of 10.
I love this. Hits every time. I've always been a birthday cake fan. I think a lot of snack cakes taste the same, and this one just blows that out of the water. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Yep. Great job for the snack cakes.
All right, next we're going to try Swiss cake rolls.
Or as I like to call them, ho-hos.
It's definitely a different brand.
All right, we do have the box for this one, so.
They're
Macy,
my favorites.
maybe you should try to get the
Do Swiss cake rolls and
brand straight.
ho-hos taste the same?
I love these so much. I ate them all the time when I was a kid, so nostalgia factor is way, way up there. I love the
Swirl.
swirl in the middle.
The cream
It's
filling.
amazing, and this snack just never disappoints me, so I'm gonna have to give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I actually do agree, and although it's chocolate, the cream filling swirled up in the middle is really just delightful. So, it was definitely hitting today. I don't know if that's because it's right off the bat and I'm not sick of the cakes yet, but I am definitely a big fan of this one right now. So, I will give this an 8.
And I will agree with this. It has the perfect amount of chocolate to vanilla swirl. I'll give this how about a 9 out of 10?
Ooh.
I'm going to be the odd one out. This cake does nothing for me. Very mid. Could give a lot more than what it's giving. It kind of has a chemically taste. I don't know. Not a huge chocolate girl and not a huge Swiss cake roll ho-ho girl. Whatever you want to call it. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10.
Fair enough.
All right.
Alright, next we're going to do zebra cake.
I feel like I don't remember what these taste like, but I ate them a lot when I was little.
Yeah, I'm not coming back to the taste right now.
I'm going to tell you, these are going to taste exactly like a fancy cake.
I agree with that. They're definitely vanilla. Is that
It's just the same exact thing.
That's a chocolate
Yeah. So
ice,
maybe they have a little bit
icing
of chocolate.
swirl.
in it.
Yeah.
They do taste a lot better than a fancy cake, I think. I don't know if it's because the fancy cake just wasn't hitting for me last week, but this tastes pretty good to me, and I liked it, so I'm gonna have to give it a 7.
I do like this one. I think there is a big nostalgia factor These are very familiar to me. I know what they're going to taste like. As Kaylee mentioned last week, the processed icing on top that you can really just, it's coming. But it was actually pretty good today. So I'm vibing. I'm good with this. This is probably a solid 7.5 for me.
I'll give this a not bad. Not the worst thing I've ever had, not the best. So I'll give this a 6 out of 10.
Like I said, this is just not a reconstructed, but a different version of a fancy cake with a little bit of chocolate drizzle on top. But hey, I like fancy cakes, so I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10.
I mean, how many more ideas can you really come up with and just...
Well, say I feel like we've eaten like
The
20
same
of the
thing.
same thing.
Yeah, they're just...
I'm just needing Little Debbie to expand her
We
imagination.
need more
a little
variety,
bit.
I guess. It's very...
It's either chocolate or vanilla, and that's all you get. There's no more, there's nothing else there.
I mean, there's also strawberry, there's coconut.
Well, yeah, but there's...
Banana. Like we had last week, huge variety.
Do not take me back
They
to
all
the bananas.
have the same
But go ahead.
aftertaste cake
It's
flavor.
like waxy kind
Yeah.
of. Not...
They all
Yes,
kind of
that's such
taste
a
the
good
same.
word. Okay, moving on. We have a completely different kind of thing. Even I don't know if you'd call it a snack cake or a cake at all. We have the fruit pies, and this flavor happens to be apple.
I have never had a fruit pie.
These are
Me
busting.
neither.
These are
really
busting.
good.
Put
And,
this sucker in the microwave, unbeatable.
I'm
We
not
could-
a huge fruit pie person, so we'll just see how this
We know
works
that
out.
they're good because our entire class ate the entire
Yeah, we have
box.
one we had to split into 4 because our class ate
So-
the entire box before this episode.
But I've never had one, so here we go.
It is not that bad. Stop being dramatic.
Just stop. I don't understand. It's actually good. So,
How did you make such a mess?
Choke it
Well,
down.
alright, Macy.
I don't like apple pie. Like, no matter who makes it, no matter if it's from a box, don't like it. And this is not good. I don't like this. I don't know. Maybe if it was something else besides apple, maybe it would be better, but this is just not good. Giving it a 2 out of 10.
Well, I was first shocked by how cold the filling was. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because our school...
Teachers, pardon the interruption. Power School is back up and running. At the start of third period, you can start taking attendance on Power School again. Thank you.
all right.
Anyways, after that Power School announcement, back to the filling. Maybe it's just because our school is like a freezer on its own, so
Very accurate.
these were just already refrigerated, I guess, even though they were sitting in a drawer. But that was just, it kind of threw me off from the beginning. Not as homely feeling as an apple pie usually makes me feel. I was detached from this. I didn't really like it. But it wasn't the worst, just definitely not the best. Probably a 5 out of 10.
I don't know, Ab, that I would agree with that because for a store-bought apple pie, this is actually pretty good.
Okay.
I'll give this, we'll say, an 8 out of 10.
This obviously isn't going to beat like a home-cooked warm apple pie, but you know, if you're getting that craving for some apple pie and you can't get a good one from McDonald's, this is the place to go. I really like these. I like the fruit filling. I like the icing on the outside. I mean, it gives me everything I need it to give. However, they aren't the best. So I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
No nostalgia factor at all.
I agree with that.
But they do have a pretty good like appearance. They're like shiny coated with icing on the outside. So they look pretty authentic actually. Just the taste wasn't there for me today completely.
All right, now we're going to move on to a classic. We have the oatmeal cream pies.
And the last and final one.
Never miss with an oatmeal
I
cream pie.
love oatmeal cream pies. I was so excited
Yes.
when I took these out of the box. Huge nostalgia factor. I even went through a phase last year where I ate them every single day.
I remember that, actually. Oh, no.
I've weaned myself off now, but this might bring me back into it.
All right.
Can't go wrong with oatmeal cream pie. You just really can't. It's really good. The cream in the middle is just so different from the snack cake cream you get in the
Yes.
middle. It's just it's so refreshing and it's just something different. So this is tasting really good to me. Nostalgia factor is through the roof. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10.
I completely agree. Definitely big with the nostalgia factor, but also with the taste and feeling in your mouth. Like, it's not waxy, it's not bad. I don't feel processed or disgusting, even though it probably is. It's definitely not as worse, or definitely not as bad as the rest of the snack cakes. So, with this one, I'm gonna get a 9.5.
And to go along with what the girls said, the cream's kind of a fluffy cream, not a flat cream, you could say, if there is such a thing. I'll give this probably a 9.5 out of 10.
Oatmeal cream pies hit every box for me. They're just perfect. I love it. It's so much different than most of the snack cakes you're going to try or get. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10.
All right, well, I guess that wraps up this segment. It was
Wait,
short
we
and
have
sweet.
to say our favorites and our least favorites.
Okay, we're gonna cut that part out. Here we go.
Okay, Macy.
All right, I would have to say that my favorite is the ho-ho or the Swiss roll or whatever you want to call it. I've eaten those since I was little and they've just tasted the same good chocolatey sweetness ever since I was little. So those are my favorites, and then the least favorite would definitely be the apple pie. Just wasn't there, don't like apple pie, just not hitting for me.
I agree with the apple pie statement. I think the apple pie was better than some of the ones that we tried last week, so I wouldn't have put it last week.
Right.
But today, it will be last for me, and I think my top 2 contenders are the birthday cake and the oatmeal cream pie. But I'm going to have to go with the oatmeal cream pie today.
And I'll go with probably as my least the zebra cake, and as my favorite probably the Swiss roll. That was pretty good.
Solid.
My least favorite definitely had to be the Swiss roll. And then my favorite, I'm going to have to go with the birthday cake. I mean, it just hit. I mean, the oatmeal cream pie is right behind it. And I know I rated the birthday cake lower, but thinking back on it, that was really good.
All right, now we're going to wrap up this segment, I guess. We had a short and sweet variety today.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you guys for watching, and comment down below maybe what you want us to try next.
Yes.
I don't think I'll ever eat another snack cake.
How about we do a different one next time?
Leave a comment below on what we should try next.
Anyways, thank you for tuning into the Salem Show from the Washington County Community Foundation Studios.
That concludes our 7th episode of this semester, and as the show winds down, we would like to remind everyone watching to like and subscribe to our account and streaming channels.
Also, don't forget to check out our other social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and our new edition of TikTok.
On these apps, you can view an array of videos and updates about our Salem Lions News Network.
We'll see you next time, and have a great gold-blooded week, Lions.